Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So far we have seen so many things like strategy management, intelligence, international business and so on. But today we are going to discuss something related to a employee, that is a gratuity acts. We have seen that during our MBA we have seen there are so many acts which are being developed in India which are related to the employee and employer, because before 1948 there was nothing by which employee can fight with their employer to get benefits and compensations. So all these things can be happen with the help of the acts. So now we are going to see what is the compensations and the benefits. The compensations and benefits refers to the compensations or salary and other monetary or non-monetary benefits passed by the firm to its employee. Compensations and the benefits is an important aspect to the HRM, human resource management, as it helps to keep the workforce motivated. Yes, all those things. When we are thinking about HRMs, so many benefits and so many compensations are available. So all these things are available due to the many various act which are being forced by the Indian government to provide additional benefits to the employee who are working under any organizations. And yes, of course, these all these acts are being forced to eliminate disputes between the employee and employer relationships. So now we are going to what are the various acts available with or associated with the employees. There is a Factories Act 1940. Yes, by the help of this act, or we can see this is a occupational safety and health act, who is who is associated with the safety and health of the employee. Maternity Benefit Act 1961, this will gives a benefit. This act will give a benefit to the woman employee who is being pregnant and she wants a maternity leave. In that case, this law will help, or this act will help her. ERA is the Equal Remuneration Act 1976. This act or law will give the benefits to the woman workers. So she will get a benefits as compared to the main worker who is doing a similar work in an organization. Employee Employment Industrial Employment Act, Payment Wages Act, as per Payment Wages Act 1936, the payment or the Minimum Wages Act 1940. All these acts are concerns with the benefit or the salary which are employee getting from the organizations. All those things are related to employee only. So employee provident funds and miscellaneous provision, miscellaneous act 1952, bonus act, all these are the benefit comes under the benefit as well as compensation acts. So now we are going to see what is a gratuity act. The gratuity act is the benefit that is payable under the payment of the Gratuity Act 1972. This act was developed or for comes into the force from 1972 by the Indian government. The gratuity, what it says, the person who is working more than or 5 years, continuously 5 years for any organizations, they, in that case, the organization is paying some monetary benefits to that employee. So the gratuity is a sum of money paid by any employer to the employee for the services rendered in a company, but the gratuity is paid only to the employee who complete 5 or more years with the company. Yes, of course, the only conditions for getting eligible for the gratuity is the employee has to complete their continuous 5 year service with any organizations. The next one is the gratuity is a financial component offered by an employee to an employer to the employee in the recognition of his or her service rendered to the to an organization. It is a part of the salary and employees receives and can be viewed as a benefit plan designed to aid an industrial in his or her retirement. The gratuity is paid by an employer when employee leaves the job after serving the same organizations for minimum period of 5 years. Once one can consider it is to be a financial thank you to an employee for rendering a continuous service to an employers. Yes, as the return we can say it is a goodbye in the way of monetary rewards. So gratuity, the employee who is working for any organization is eligible by only one way, by completing 5 year continuous service for any organization, and it is a financial goodbye, it is a monetary reward to that employee for serving for 5 years or more than 5 years. The eligible criteria for the gratuity is the employee should be eligible for the superannuations. Second one is the employee can retire. Employee resigns after working for 5 years with a single employers. An employee passes away or suffering disability due to the illness or accident. All these are the criteria where the employee gets eligible for the gratuity. Now, how the gratuity is calculated? The amount is also dependent upon the numbers of years served in the company and the last drawn salary. The gratuity is N into B into 15 divided 26, where N is the number of years of service in the company, B is the last drawn salary plus DA. Yes, gratuity is depends on the last gratuity is depends on the basic salary plus dearness allowance. It will not be applicable on the other component of the salary like fixed performance allowances, washing allowance, HRA allowance. All this can be a can't be a part of the gratuity calculations. Now we are going to see one example of the gratuity calculation. For example, Amit has worked for a company for 20 years and had 25 rupees as his last drawn salary basic plus DA amount. Then the gratuity amount for the Amit will be 20 into 25,000 into 15 divided by 6, which will comes around rupees 228 2,88,461.54. However, employee can choose to pay more gratuity to employee also for the number of month in the last year of the employment. Anything above 6 months rounded off to the next number, while anything below 6 number in the last year of the employers rounded to the previous lower numbers. Yes, as we have seen into the Gratuity Acts, so the years, whatever years we for which the employee is worked for any organization, it will be rounded. It will be rounded into the figures that should not be 7.4, 7.2, 7.8, 7.9 like this. It should be like 7, 8, 10, 12, 15, whatever it may be. So this is a common formula which is applicable to calculate the gratuity of any employee. Now the gratuity amount 15 lakhs drawn salary amount paid for service by 30. For example, if anyone if you have at a company for a 10 years and 8 months, your salary is 50,000. The calculation of the gratuity amount is done as follows: the gratuity amount 50 into 50,000 into 11 divided by 30 is equal to 2.75 lakhs. This is the example how the years are rounded off. So the Gratuity Act is very simple, and it provides a benefit for the employees who is serving for at least for 5 years or more than 5 years for uh, any organizations. Now there are some cases like a day in the case of death, how the gratuity will be calculated. In the case of death of an employee, the gratuity benefits are calculated based on the tenure of the service of the employee. The maximum amount is, however, subject to maximize rupees 20 lakhs. The following now we are going to see one table which will show what kind of rates is applicable in the gratuity if someone is die. The calculations of gratuity in the case of death of employee, the tenure of service less than years, then amount payable toward the gratuity will be 2 into the basic salary. If the tenure is 1 year or more, 1 year or more, but less than 5 years, in that case, the payable amounts towards the gratuity will be 6 into basic salary. If the 5 service will be 5 years or more than 5 years but less than 11 years, then there will be a 12 into a basic salary. If the service is more than 11 years but less than 20 years, in that case the payable amounts against the gratuity will be 20 into basic salary. If the service is more than 20 years, then in the case of half of basic salary for each completed 6 months period. However, it is subject to a maximum 33 times to the basic salary. These are the all criteria which are being defined into the Gratuity Act 1972 for the employee who is died during his service. Now we are going to see what are the new amendments are made into the Gratuity Act. One of the most important advancement in the regards to the gratuity for a private sector employee is fact that the ceiling has been raised to a 20 lakhs from the 10 lakhs for the tax-free gratuity. Just this is the what in the 2016 when the when the BJP governments are coming into the force. At that time, we have seen so many changes are done into the tax lots, and this is what the amendments are made into the Gratuity Act 1972. And there is a benefit, means the tax benefits are raised by 10 lakhs into the Gratuity Act. The same was done for the central government employee right after the announcement and the implementations of the seventh Central Pay Commission. So this act is means this that exemption is given to the both private sector as well as government sector also. The next one is, in the light of this recent pandemic and the virus outbreak across the nation, the union government has also proposed many security measures for the workforce. In one of the recent press conferences held by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has announced that the government's plans to offer the payment of the gratuity after the completion of 1 year of services. This will apply to the fixed term employee of a firm. Yes, as I told you earlier, there are some amendments are done or under process by which there will be a chances of getting a gratuity for the employee who is serving now for minimum 1 year. So this can be happened within the next 1 or 2 years. The few significant points about the gratuity. There are an employee can receive a gratuity amount higher than 10 lakhs from his or her employers. The exemptions for the tax in the case will be calculated as per the point listed above under the taxations. In the recent interim budget 2019, the finance minister Nirmala during 2019, finance minister Piyush Goyal, at that time the finance minister was the Piyush Goyal, and he announced that the existing tax free gratuity limit will be increased by 30 lakhs. Yes, now and again we are seeing that so many things are comes into the play regarding to the Gratuity Act. So all these are being the amendments which are made by the current Indian governments regarding to the tax. The taxation process for the gratuity depends upon the employee who is receiving the gratuity amount Two standard cases rises from the calculations of the tax on the gratuity. The government employee receiving gratuity amount in the case of any employee under the state government, central government or local authority receives a gratuity amount, then the amount is fully exempted from the income tax. And any other salaried individual receiving a gratuity amount from an employer who is covered for by a payment of the gratuity acts. In this case, the gratuity received by any employee whose employer is covered under the Gratuity Act, the employee's amount is exempted from the tax. The 15 days salary as per the last draw salary of an individual. All these are the exemption. All these amendments are made by the current governments. In the scenario, we are seeing that the many benefits are paid to, many benefits are made towards many benefits are made in the made or determining the various acts which are being made to pay the more attentions towards the employees. And all by this having all these acts and compensations as well as benefits, this is what the government is trying to do, or government is trying to implement flexibility to eliminate the dispute between the employee and employer relationship. The tax exemptions we have seen already. Now we are going to see. So this is what the Gratuity Act is. It is little confusing act, but it is a more beneficial act to the all the employees who are working for the private sectors as well as government sectors. So this is what the acts are. This is what the Gratuity Act is. If you want to know about any other law or any other acts, please write me into the comments. This is what for today. Thank you. If anything, any points from the Gratuity Acts is not understandable, then please write me into comment. Thank you for today.